Why do so many businesses spend years working harder only to end up earning less, while a handful seem to pull further ahead every year? According to 0 to 1, the difference isn't just execution, it's the kind of game they're playing. If you've ever felt like you're running faster just to stay in the same place, this book's central argument will probably challenge how you think about business. And if you want the full argument, the link to grab the book is in the description. Maybe you're struggling to stand out in a crowded market. Maybe your margins keep shrinking no matter how much you improve. Or maybe you've built something good, but still don't know how to make it genuinely difficult for competitors to copy. And it's easy to get trapped chasing short-term wins instead of building something that lasts. If any of those sound familiar, stick around and subscribe if you want more breakdowns like this. Here's where Peter Thiel's argument really begins. In Chapter 3, All Happy Companies Are Different, he challenges one of the biggest assumptions in business, that competition is always healthy. In markets where everyone offers nearly the same thing, businesses end up competing on price until real profits disappear. Every advantage gets copied, every innovation becomes temporary, and everyone fights over the same slice of the pie. That's why so many industries feel like a race with no finish line. The book argues that lasting success comes from building something with no close substitute instead. But that raises a bigger question. What actually makes a business impossible to copy? That's exactly where Chapter 5 comes in. Thiel argues that being first to market isn't nearly as important as becoming the last company standing. Plenty of early pioneers disappear because they never built advantages that grow stronger over time. Think about Friendster. It arrived before most social networks, but it lacked the lasting advantages that allowed others to scale past it. The chapter explains that durable companies combine things like proprietary technology, network effects, economies of scale, and strong branding, so their position improves as they grow. If you've ever launched something only to watch competitors imitate it, let me know in the comments. That's one of the most common challenges founders face. But even a powerful advantage begins with something even rarer. Chapter 7 introduces one of the book's most interesting ideas: secrets. Thiel argues that if everyone already believes an opportunity exists, the easy value has already been captured. The best businesses often begin with an insight that most people dismiss or simply haven't noticed yet. SpaceX, for example, pursued reusable rockets long before many believed they were commercially practical. The point isn't to be different for its own sake. It's to discover something important that others have overlooked. That question actually gets answered more deeply once you read the chapter. But even discovering a valuable secret isn't enough if you can't stay committed to it. That's why Chapter 6 focuses on what Thiel calls definite optimism. Instead of hoping things eventually work out, successful founders make deliberate plans for a future they intend to create. Businesses that rely on "we'll figure it out later" often end up chasing every new trend and abandoning their original conviction. That constant switching wastes time, money, and momentum. The chapter reframes planning as a competitive advantage, not just a management exercise. And once that's broken, one final challenge remains. In Chapter 4, Thiel argues that short-term thinking quietly destroys long-term value. Quarterly targets can reward activity that looks impressive today while preventing the patient investments that compound over years. Amazon spent years prioritizing long-term growth over immediate profits, a strategy that looked unremarkable to many observers at first, but built extraordinary scale over time. The book makes the case that patience itself can become a competitive advantage because most competitors simply won't wait long enough. Taken together, every idea points in the same direction. Competing in crowded markets, relying on advantages that are easy to copy, ignoring overlooked opportunities, drifting without a definite plan, and focusing only on this quarter's numbers all reinforce one another. 0 to 1 explores that entire chain in real depth and explains why building something truly singular matters so much. If you want the full argument, the link to grab the book is in the description.